that was change. Zoom just updated their software and they changed it on me. So there's that damn change again. The topic this week, what a ripe and fertile topic that is. But today we'll just have a brief exploration, mental gymnastics around turning change into our friend rather than our enemy. For many people, change is the enemy. The life is about getting everything just the way you want it, and then hoping and praying and struggling and resisting against change. And yet, each and every one of us has this deepest core instinct for things to get better and better and better. I think that's a spiritual impulse because we're spiritual beings living in a material world. So we always have this sense that there's always more available. It delivers this constant sense of desire that there's more that we can have. And that's a glorious instinct that's planted deeply inside of us. And yet, for things to get better, as we discussed earlier in the week, for things to get better, things have to change. And it brings up that somewhat amusing statement, hey, Kat, that I want everything to get better. I just don't want anything to change, which is silly and absurd and the kind of thing that my mortal mind would come up with. But anyway, when it comes to change, if we're going to turn change into our friend rather than our enemy, it would begin with a prayer or an intention. Could you pray or intend inside of yourself right now? I pray, I make a decision to turn change, to perceive change as my best friend in the universe. Well, that's a decision, isn't it? And when it comes to that prayer, I'm thinking of something that a great saint said somewhere around the 3rd century AD. His name was Gregory, so he was cool. Gregory of Nyssa. Gregory of Nyssa, one of the great theologians, one of the great thinkers, one of the great philosophers, one of the very greatest sages, yogis of all time. And one of his favorite phrases was, from glory to glory. Think about that. Our destiny as spiritual beings, as we begin to gain dominion and sovereignty and establish our spiritual roots, is to move from glory to glory. Wow, think of the implications. That means we have an experience and its glory, and then we move from that experience to a greater glory, and then to a greater glory, and then to a greater glory. But we mortal human beings, we have this habit of writing, something new happens in our life, a new relationship, a new job, a new situation, a new place where we live, and it starts like this. We start and it's interesting, fascinating, anticipatory, exhilarating, gets better. We develop, we evolve, we peak, and it's the best it's ever going to be, and we love it. And entropy kicks in, and it's not quite as interesting, and then we get sort of habituated, and then we don't really notice what's going on, and then it kind of starts to stagnate and kind of gets worse, and then it becomes horrible, and we should have left a long time ago, but we're hate change so much, we'll keep riding the dead horse until it dies, and then we ride a dead carcass. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, so it's this, and then we move on to something else. How about this? You start something in your life, you move up the scale, you get to the best that it's going to be, and your intuitive wisdom and your love of change says, oh, now's the time to get off of this parabola and get on this one, and then this one, and then this one, and then this one. And we're so in love with change. Change is our best friend, that we know when to get off a parabola, when it's time to get off of it. And that way we don't have to ride our relationships, our jobs, where we live, things that we do, our diet into the ground, thinking that something that's dead should give us life again. In other words, we quit making an idol out of worldly situations. Isn't that brilliant? Also, if you take those parabolas and if you shape them like this, it becomes an upward spiral. Anyway, I think I make my point clear. I've yammered for 6 minutes. So you just prayed today, if you did, that change is my best friend, and we're going to start honoring Gregory of Nyssa, not this one, but Gregory of Nyssa, and remember that it's God's will that we move from glory to glory to glory, which all you could say then is hallelujah. Anyway, let me know what you think, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a great day.